I thank the ranking member as well, and would like to associate myself with the comments of the ranking member. And Mr. Powell, I would like to compliment you for standing up to the president, for literally preserving the independence of the Fed. It was one of those pivotal moments in time. It would have been more than your simply resigning. It would have been the president taking control of the Fed with one of his Pluto puppets. Mr. Powell, I'd like to speak to you now about the process of collecting tariffs. When the tariff is collected, at what point does that actually happen? If we impose a tariff, product is coming into the country, where is that tariff collected?
Great question. I'm not an expert on that. I'm going to say the Customs Bureau collects it, but I stand to be corrected by anyone who.
I believe you're correct. That's what my research reveals. Permit me to extend this. When it is collected, it goes into a coffer. I believe we call that coffer the general fund. Is this correct?
I don't know, actually.
It does. The tariff goes into the general fund. A tariff is another way of saying tax, I believe, for many people. Is that a fair statement?
It is sometimes characterized as a tax.
So if the president imposes a tariff, which is a tax, and the tax is collected by some entity before it actually, on the product before it gets into the country, then the president is putting tax dollars into a general fund such that they may at some point, and these dollars, by the way, are coming from the consumer, at some point they may be used to cover some of the appropriations of this very House that the president has enormous control over. So in a sense, what the president can do is aid with the payment of what he would call a tax break, but aid with putting dollars in the pockets of his billionaire buddies that he collects on the tariff that the people in this country ultimately have to cover. I think that the president, while he seems to always avoid the question of how the tariffs are going to be dispersed, he knows that he can, at some point, use that money to help pay the taxes that he plans to return to his billionaire buddies. I think that's a very sinister way of doing business, to require the consumer to fund tax breaks. I think this president knows what he's doing. I think he believes that the very wealthy need more to do more, and that the poor can do more with less. I don't agree with it, and I will do all that I can to prevent it. I yield back the balance of my time.